Israeli space security chief says that aliens exist.
But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on. I'll have to think about that. All right.
He claims there is a galactic federation, a group of advanced extraterrestrials, and that President Trump is aware of them.
Starts out by saying that a galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we would understand what space and spaceships are. His name is Haim Eshed. Now, I kind of look at the narrative of that particular question, but let's just go over the entire article and then we'll backtrack so we can question some of the things that is being said. Now, he's a former Israeli space security chief, and he sent eyebrows shooting heavenward, what they call it, by saying that earthlings, listen to me, have been in contact with extraterrestrials from a galactic federation. Now, he called the unidentified flying objects have asked not to publish that they are here and humanity is not ready. This is Haim Eshed. He is the former head of Israeli Defense Ministry Space Doctorate, okay? Now, he told this paper, now he said in an interview in Hebrew, which ran at the time on that Friday, had gained a lot of traction after parts were published in English by the Jerusalem Post. Now, if you think about it, we're talking Hebrew, we're talking Jerusalem, all of these spiritual places. All right. He says a respected professor, retired general, now that means he have access, said that aliens were equally curious about humanity and were seeking understanding the fabrics of our universe. Now, he also goes on to say that the cooperation agreement had been signed between parties and species, including a underground base in the depths of Mars where there are American astronauts and aliens representative. Now, he said there's also agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens that they signed a contract with them to do experiments here on Earth in our soil, in U.S. area. Eshed added that President Donald Trump, who was president at the time, was aware of the extraterrestrial existence and had been on the verge of revealing the information, but was asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria. Now, I think we've all seen, if you've seen a lot of YouTube videos, you might have seen Trump apply and ask the question, somebody asking about UFOs, and he arrogantly at some point, I would say, and I think this cool, said, yeah, I think there exists, or he came real close to saying it, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason why I use the word arrogantly, because he's not, if it is there, he's not going to let people get over on him and say, oh, I didn't know about the UFOs. He like he said, he's going to know everything, because that's the type of president that he was. So let's break down the narrative and question what we're talking about here, so that we as a community can get an understanding what these truth seekers, us as truth seekers, and what the big secret keepers tend to want to keep from everybody. If you start thinking about the Galactic Federation, I think we've all heard that term somewhere within our research or within the community of ufology, that there is some type of council that looks over what happens in Earth, that supposedly control some of the outcomes of things here, maybe protect us from some bad entities that are out there, maybe maybe could be part of some experiments of what's happening, or from I was told, or I've read in several places, that they have this kind of rule that they do not interfere with what happens here on Earth, as though we're some type of project planet. And I probably said that a million times, right? Okay, so now let's break that down. He sent a Galactic Federation saying that we don't understand space. And that could be a lot of truth in that. If you think about the narratives of what we're talking about, if we're going to question what we think we know with the Hubble satellites, with us traveling into space, do we really have a true understanding? Because after the time, we know there's wormholes, we know there's portals, we know there's so many anomalies out there when it comes down to this. Is it something that we as humans could comprehend? The other part is spaceships. Now, I'm going to tend to probably agree with that if the Galactic Federation is saying that we don't understand spaceships, and probably not, right? Because we're still in the infancy stage of building spacecraft that can go all across the galaxy and back, versus, short trips and short excursions or explorations into the moon and back, or maybe Mars, But what about the Star Trek type things, right? Where we can kind of go way out there, go anywhere that we want to go and see the entire universe. And so they're waiting to see if we're going to ever get an understanding, or are we going to get there? Now, that intrigues me the most because there's a lot of things that we'll talk about from there. But I'll get what some of you think about the Galactic Federation if you want to put that into the chat, and let's kind of see what your thoughts is when it comes down to the Galactic Federation. Because where I'm going with this conversation is it is time for us, the truth seekers, the community, to begin to look back on what have been said in the past. And then you kind of want to put it in connecting dots to what is being said now and see if some of those things are lining up to be any truth. See if those things are lining up to become some of the reality that we know today, because there were people that were shunned back in the day. And like he said, he would have been hospitalized had he mentioned this 5 years prior than the 20th of December, 2020. Okay. Another part of this was he said that the extraterrestrials, all right, have been in contact with us, and that we at some point have, okay, let me back up right here. He's saying that once again that we're not the UFOs or whoever's in these crafts are asking us not to publish who they are. Now, who are they asking this to, right? Or are they asking, and we're going to get into that because obviously it said that there's some type of agreement that have already been made. And the other part of that, why United States, right? But anyway, he says that they don't want people to know because humanity is not ready. If that is the case, and it was 5 years ago, and if it was some type of signed agreement, why are they pushing for disclosure today? Why? Or, well, maybe it's us who's pushing, and then of course the big secret keepers and the military, all of the people or the companies, private corporations are fighting back to protect the secret. Now, could they be doing this in our best interest? Could they feel that we are not ready, although we think they're hiding something from us, although they're benefiting from it, probably from technology, money, all of these things? But is it in our best interest that they are making sure they're fighting to keep it a secret? If the Galactic Federation is sending signals saying, hey, don't tell everybody, who is pushing the narrative and why is the thing that they will push a narrative to say, let's put this out here, let's share all of this information, let's get humanity ready for what we would consider disclosure. Now, he said what sticks out to most is that he said that the respected professor said that the aliens were equally curious about humanity and were seeking to understand the fabric of the universe. All right, so that goes back. Let's question what he's saying here. He is saying that there's a group of aliens, Galactic Federation, different people, council or whatever, is saying that they are intrigued by humanity. But yet we have all of these stories of ancient Anunnaki or ancient astronauts that we were brought here. There are some stories that we were created by them. And that lets us know at some point what is really happening. How is that there's a group that are curious, like they found a lost puppy somewhere and going, where did you come from? How did you get here? Let's explore this puppy, so to speak, right? And in our other histories, as we go down, we were created, we was here to mine gold. So it's almost like nobody's trying to be curious. Nobody's curious about humanity when they created it, right? And then, of course, we got the Galactic Federation, who's supposed to be regulating all intents purposes, things that are happening outside of this universe that we don't know about. Could be possible threats. It could be all kinds of stuff, right? That all kind of boils down to what is going on, and I think it's one of the things that we want to look into. Is there a Galactic Federation? Do we have any proof of a Galactic Federation? We're going to question the narrative. We got to question the narrative when it comes down to what is happening, because today everything needs to be broken down from there as well. I'm not talking about the spiritual side. Is there someone looking down in this capacity and are saying, boy, these earthlings are crazy today, or they're doing some stuff? And that'll be something that I think we should definitely find out and pretty much look into. One of the things about this is there a galactic federation? Once again, anybody in the chat got information that you want to say that you think possibly there is a galactic federation that is looking over us, right? Do you have that information that you could help us with to determine if there is a galactic federation, right? And so the thing about that would be what is happening, what is going on with that. If there is a galactic federation, what are their purposes and why don't they intervene in things such as wars and all that stuff that happens here on this planet? So that's something to give us some thought. We got former President Trump that they're quoting or saying that he knew. I saw a couple of clips in the past that he talked about extraterrestrials and kind of alluded to that he knew. What would keep the most powerful persons on the planet, our presidents, who would keep them in check, who will basically tell them, you better not say no sugar honey iced tea about the alien technology?